He hadn't spoken publicly since the historic agreement to renew U.S.-Cuba diplomatic relations was announced. Many predicted the Cold War between both countries was drawing to an end. But after 6 weeks of silence, Cuban President Raúl Castro had a lot to say to the contrary.
Initiating diplomatic ties is a first step towards normalizing bilateral relations, but they're impossible while the blockade exists, and until the illegally occupied territory of Guantanamo is returned to us, until legal radio and television transmissions cease, and until our people receive just compensation for the human and economic damage they have suffered.
Addressing leaders of the 33-member CELAC, or the Community of Latin American and Caribbean Nations, Castro used harsh language to make clear that his communist government would not alter its one-party state system one iota to please Washington. And he went further, suggesting the United States has changed its methods, but not its objective to provoke the overthrow of his communist government.
Everything indicates that the objective is to foment an artificial opposition using economic, political, and communicational methods.
Here in San Jose, Castro has received the overwhelming support of his regional peers, who are also urging President Obama to use his executive powers to further weaken the U.S. economic embargo against Cuba, bypassing Congress. Not even President Obama's plea to the Republican-controlled Congress to lift the embargo has softened President Castro's position. The Cuban leader is clearly playing hardball ahead of April's Summit of the Americas, where for the first time in more than half a century, the United States and Cuba will sit at the same hemispheric table. And between now and then, he is expecting more concessions from the White House without offering anything in exchange. This, he said, would be unethical. Lucia Newman, Al Jazeera, San Jose, Costa Rica.